Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something I think many of us love, maybe even take for granted sometimes. Kimbap.
Ah, Kimbap, the ultimate Korean fast food, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's way more than just, a quick meal. It's got this surprisingly tangled history and a lot of debate around it.
That's right. And that's our mission today, really. To unpack Kimbap, we'll look at where it might have come from, how it's changed over time.
Yeah, talk about how it's made, the cost, which is a whole thing now.
Oh, definitely. And then dive headfirst into that big question. Is it purely Korean or does it have Japanese roots? We've looked at a bunch of sources to try and get the full picture for you.
Okay, let's roll. So for me, kimbap is just, it's comfort food, real soul food. This past summer, honestly, it saved me.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It was just so incredibly hot. Cooking felt impossible. And my local kimbap place, well, I was there constantly. Started at 2,500 won, went up to 3,000. Didn't matter. It was easy, comforting. It got me through.
That totally makes sense. And it taps right into how people see Kimbap. It's like jjajangmyeon seen as, well, commoner's food, affordable, accessible.
Right.
So when the price goes up, there's this psychological resistance. It feels wrong somehow, even though, costs are going up.
For sure. I mean, near our office in Mokdong, what is it now? 4,001 easily.
At least. And specialty ones, 5,000, even 6,001. And it's not arbitrary. Labor costs are up. Ingredient prices, especially vegetables, have soared. Rice, interestingly, is more stable, partly because overall consumption is down.
And the labor itself, it's intense. You see those videos of the ajumas, the ladies behind the counter, just rolling them at lightning speed. It's an art.
It really is. They might have machines for slicing, sure, but the actual rolling, mostly still done by hand. Full automation is pretty rare.
That hand-rolled aspect, it's key, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's that sun mat, that hand taste. It's why homemade often tastes, well, better. You control the ingredients, the freshness.
Like the egg.
Exactly. Many franchises use those pre-made, vacuum-packed egg strips, the jaeranjin. It's efficient for them, but it's just not the same as freshly made. That care, that freshness, it makes a difference.
It's such a contrast, isn't it? So accessible, yet so much hidden craft. Makes you appreciate it more.
Definitely.
So, okay, beyond the cost and the craft, kimbap has really evolved. It's not just the classic anymore.
Oh, totally. You've got nude kimbap or rice on the outside.
Yeah, and then things like salad kimbap, cream cheese, and walnut. I've even seen keto kimbap.
Keto kimbap, right. Using egg strips instead of rice. Clever.
The innovation is wild.
It really is. I remember trying this one place. They had instant polished rice kimbap.
Oh, wow, what was that?
They milled the rice right there on the spot before making the kimbap. Super fresh rice concept. Interesting idea, but it didn't last.
Huh. Shows not every experiment sticks, I guess.
Exactly. It's a dynamic food.
Speaking of experiments, where could it go next? Our sources mentioned, well, insects.
Ah, yes. Mealworms, or gosohei, as they're officially called.
Gosohei. Sounds a bit more appealing than mealworm, gotta say.
It does, doesn't it? And realistically, from a protein standpoint, insects are very viable, sustainable, nutritious. So insect kimbap. Maybe not as crazy as it sounds. It could happen.
Food for thought, literally.
Okay, what surprising ingredients do you listening think might end up in kimbap? Let us know. But now, let's get to the core, the real debate.
The origin story.
Yeah. Is kimbap fundamentally Korean? Or does it really stem from Japanese makemono? Both sides have some pretty solid arguments.
Okay, let's start with the Japanese origin theory. The argument goes back to the Edo period in Japan. Seaweed cultivation really improved around, 1716?
Right.
And then makemono, rolled sushi, starts appearing in cookbooks by 1750. There's even that story about it being food for gamblers, easy to eat with your hands, like the sandwich origin.
Convenient.
Then, fast forward to the Japanese colonial period in Korea, 1910 to 1945. That undeniably influenced Korean food culture. Lunchboxes, ubento became a thing. Picnics, like cherry blossom viewing, portable food got popular. And this is where the evidence gets specific.
Exactly. There is a newspaper article from 1930 in the Dong Ilbo. It actually shows a recipe for kimsambap, a Korean term for kimbap, right next to norimaki, the Japanese term.
So they were already seen side by side.
Suggests it was being recognized, yeah. And the recipe itself used expensive stuff. Sea bream, shiitake, fancy Japanese seaweed, asakusa. This wasn't everyday food initially, more for the upper class.
Okay, interesting. But what's the key culinary link they point to?
The absolute crucial point for this theory is the rice seasoning. Those early Japanese-influenced recipes use vinegar, sugar, sometimes MSG, just like sushi rice.
Ah, so not sesame oil and salt like modern gimbap.
Right. This style was even called kimchobap, literally vinegar rice seaweed roll, and apparently some families in Korea kept making it this way into the 70s or 80s. That suggests a direct link that slowly faded.
And the vinegar probably helped keep things fresh, too.
That's another practical point, especially with fillings like spinach that can spoil. Vinegar would help preserve it. It's a pretty coherent argument for Japanese influence.
Okay, it does sound compelling,
Huh.
but Korea has its own history with seaweed, right? A long one. Couldn't it have developed independently?
Absolutely, and that's the foundation of the Korean origin theory. The evidence shows Koreans were eating seaweed way, way earlier. We're talking records like Samguk Yusa from 1281.
Wow, 13th century.
Yeah, and Bancho Gangmak from 1596. Both mention Silla people harvesting seaweed. And then there's the story of Kim Yoik around 1650.
The guy who figured out how to cultivate seaweed?
That's him, in Wanyang. Used pine and chestnut branches. King Injo supposedly named Seaweed Kim after him. There's even a memorial for him there today. It's not just folklore.
So cultivation was happening in Korea independently.
Yes, and even earlier records, 1425, 1530, mention seaweed as a local product. So the raw materials and knowledge were definitely there long before the Edo period Makemono.
Okay, so they had the seaweed. What about the rolling part?
Well, Korea has a really strong culture of Ssam wrapping food. Think lettuce wraps, perilla leaves.
Right, wrapping rice in fillings.
Exactly. So the idea of wrapping rice in seaweed wouldn't have been a huge leap. And then there's boksam.
Boksam, tell me about that.
It's a traditional food, documented back in the early 1800s, eaten for good luck on the first full moon, Jonggol Deborium. People wrapped rice and seaweed, sometimes other grains, inside cabbage leaves.
So wrapping rice and seaweed together was already a practice.
Clearly. There was even a custom of tearing the seaweed by hand, not cutting, to wish for a good harvest. And another ritual, Nojo Okusaki, involved piling up grain rice and seaweed at altars. Deep cultural roots there.
And then there's Chungmu Kimbap.
Ah, yes. A very strong candidate for independent origin. Crucially, its rice is not seasoned with vinegar. It's just plain rice, served separately from spicy radish and squid.
Totally different concept.
Right. The origin stories point to it being practical food for fishermen or ferry travelers in Tongkyang. Separating things kept them from spoiling. It really took off nationally after being featured at a festival in 1980 by Tungbo Halme, the chubby grandma.
Okay, so listening to all that, you can really see why it's debated. Both sides have historical records, cultural practices. It's not simple at all.
Not at all. It's genuinely nuanced.
So after digging through all this, what's the verdict? Where do we land on Gimbap's identity?
Well, I think the most sensible way to look at it, based on everything, is that Kimbap is Korean, Makemono is Japanese. They're related, perhaps, like cousins in a culinary family tree.
I like that analogy.
And maybe you add the California roll as another distinct branch, right? Japanese sushi adapted for American tastes with avocado, rice outside. Food evolves, it crosses borders, it adapts.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one single origin. We can just appreciate each one for what it is. Kimbap is kimbap, makemono is makemono.
Exactly. Enjoy what you like. But Kimbap, at the end of the day, serves as that perfect example of Korean fast food. It embodies that rice power culture.
Rice power.
Yeah, rice is the absolute staple, the core of the meal, giving energy. Kimbap makes it portable, balanced, versatile. It's deeply Korean in that sense.
That's a great way to put it. So that wraps up our deep dive into Kimbap. From being the ultimate Korean fast food, that everyday staple, to having this really fascinating debated history.
It really shows how much can be packed into something seemingly simple, doesn't it? History, culture, innovation.
Makes you wonder about other everyday foods, right?
Yeah.
What stories are hiding in plain sight in the things we eat all the time?
It's a great question. How does food identity change with global exchange and local tastes?
Definitely something to think about. What foods in your culture might have a surprising backstory like Kimbap's?